So come on, we'll go to breakfast.
Thanks anyway, John, but no.
Why? What's the matter? You're not feeling so good?
No, I'm okay.
No, you're not. There's something wrong. I knew it the second I walked in here.
Look, I didn't get a lot of sleep last night.
You sick?
No, I'm not sick. I just been doing some thinking. A lot of thinking.
Yeah. About
my situation, shall we say?
Look, there's something you want to share with your older brother that cares about you?
I'm so thankful to have you.
So what was it kept you awake all night? Trying to make a decision? Plans? What?
Well, I finally realized that there are some really important things that I have to do, and I have to do them right away.
Good morning, Vanessa.
Brian?
I noticed that you had a seminar scheduled for 9 o'clock. Gee, it's already 10 after and nobody's here?
Except you? I assume you're not here to learn about Domi.
Oh, I learned everything I wanted to know about Domi, and more, from that article in the Chronicle the other night. Apparently, so did all your other would-be students. Too bad, Vanessa. Looks like you're out of business, doesn't it?
I know Mama's gonna miss you, Lucille. She already told me so.
Would you two knock it off? It's not like you're gonna be partying forever. Lucille's just going back home. Besides, you're still gonna be working with Mom down at the clinic.
Mr. Sentiment over here. Speaking of sentiment, how could you stay so objective with Wainwright and what all he had to say in the Chronicle yesterday?
Oh, you mean that article when he talked about how he felt about black people, us included? Huh.
I would have hit him with both barrels if he'd talked like that about me.
Well, there was no need for that. All I had to do is print what I heard on the tape, and I'll let public opinion do the rest.
Yeah, I'll say. That makes Wainwright's chances look a little slimmer. But it's a big boost for Dave's campaign, don't you think?
Yes. And for my money, that could be the best thing that could happen.
Especially since he is the only one of the three whose honesty and integrity are completely unquestioned.
Wait a minute. You know, there's something that you guys are forgetting. Now, look, a lot of people will vote strictly along party lines. Yeah. Besides that, you have to remember, a lot of these people that are pulling for Wainwright, they're probably just as much a racist as he is, but they won't admit it.
Mm-hmm. But wait a minute. You said Dave's poll went up 6 points because of that article, didn't you?
Yeah, Carla, but that's what we're assuming, baby.
Yeah, what you folks have got to remember, just a few years ago, an item like that wasn't even considered newsworthy. So to me, it's a step in the right direction.
Speaking of a step in the right direction, good morning, Miss Farley. I was beginning to think you just weren't even going to go to the office today.
Oh, yes. Well, good morning, everybody. No, I just overslept, actually.
Well, now, how about some breakfast?
No, I only have time for a cup of coffee.
Well, there's a fresh pot right there.
Yeah. By the way, Nancy came by to see you yesterday.
Oh, did she say where she wanted?
Yep. I think she came by to do a little fence mending, actually.
Fence mending?
Mm-hmm. I think she has finally seen the light as far as that Fazan woman goes, and I think she wants to talk to you about that, and maybe about moving back in here.
You mean she's given up that Domi nonsense for good?
Well, that's the impression I got.
Well, praise the Lord.
Yeah, and it looks like I'm moving out just in time.
Oh, now you see, Jean, all the good that you're probably doing down there at that paper. I mean, I'm sure all of this came about because of that Domi article.
No. Now, there were a lot of prayers sent up for Nancy, too. Let's not forget that. But it just goes to show you, although the pen may be mightier than the sword, prayer is mightier than both of them put together.
Now, if that isn't the truth, I don't know what is.
Oh, boy. Don't.
So what are these important things you gotta do?
John,
All right, okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to push. I know you don't want to talk about it.
no, look, I will tell you this, though. I've thought about all my options, and well, it's not like I'm being forced into anything. I mean, I really and truly want to do this, so just trust me, okay?
All right. I know you've given a lot of thought in the last 24 hours. What brought all this on, anyway?
I had a visitor last night.
Oh, really? Who?
Vaughn came to see me.
Oh, Mr. Sumner. You finally work up the guts to accept some responsibility in all this? So you're finally going to give you some moral support, some financial support? He didn't ask you to marry him, did he?
No. As a matter of fact, that's why he came by. He wanted to make it understood that nothing like that was going to happen. Not
That
now,
jerk!
not ever.
Absolute jerk if I get my hands on him. You want me to talk to him?
No, I really don't. Look, it wouldn't do any good anyway.
Oh, yeah? How do you know?
Look, you might have some trouble with this, but Vaughn has changed. In the last week or so, he's got religion, as they say. Now, I thought that at first it was going to change his attitude about me and the baby, but
But obviously it hasn't, so why the heck did he come over here?
look, I told you, he just wanted to make it clear that I wasn't supposed to expect any kind of support from him at all. Look, he said he'd be my friend.
Friend, is that it? He wants to be your friend. Did you tell him what to do with his
Look,
friendship?
John, it's okay. Look, it really is. Look, I'm kind of glad it happened.
Glad. You've got to be kidding me.
No, look, because it clarifies everything for me now. I mean, I'm really seeing everything a lot more realistically. I know what I have to do now, and what Vaughn said to me last night just makes it that much easier.
Stacy?
Ben,
Hi.
here for breakfast?
Yeah. I'd ask you to join me, but I have a friend from the Institute that I'm meeting. It's kind of a business meeting.
Wouldn't be Dr. Graham, would it?
Yeah, you know Brian?
Sure, you introduced us, don't you remember? It was the night that you and Lori and he were having dinner and Russ and I came in.
Of course, I remember. Well, my table's ready. Have a good breakfast. I'll see you a little later, okay?
Okay, tell Dr. Graham I said hello, okay?
Will do.
Judge Sawyer, please, have a seat.
I hope I haven't kept you waiting.
Oh, no, I was here early. Would you like to have some coffee first, or would you rather just go ahead and order breakfast?
Well, before I do either, I'm very curious about something. What possible interest could a young, attractive, up-and-coming reporter have with such a staid, conservative judge as myself, who's completely devoid of anything that's newsworthy?
Well, why don't we go ahead and order breakfast first, and then we can talk about that later.
Right?
You don't have to waste your time feeling sorry for me, Brian. I don't need your sympathy.
Oh, you don't have it. My sympathy is for all those lonely and desperate lost souls who came to you as a last hope and succeeded only in being relieved of their money. They have my sympathy, not you.
Haven't you heard that the very people who need psychological help the most are often the very first ones to deny its efficacy, also to deny their own need?
Oh, and of course you put me in that category.
If the shoe fits.
Along with anyone else who refuses to worship at the shrine of Vanessa Fazan.
Oh, that really bothers you, doesn't it? The aura of charisma and the ability I've always had to attract people to myself.
Like flies to a spider's web. But I'm afraid your charisma isn't going to work for you anymore, Vanessa. Not with me and not here in Kingsley.
Oh, you would really like that, wouldn't you? If I just folded up my tent and silently crept away in the middle of the night.
Frankly, my dear, I don't care what you do or don't do. But I really don't see any point to your staying around here anymore.
Except that I do not choose to leave.
Even after that expose in the Chronicle, Domi's finished in this town, Vanessa. 3 of your prime candidates for Nirvana have committed suicide, and now everybody knows what kind of hope you offer.
You know, Brian, that's just like you. To view the slightest obstacle as a reason for utter despair and failure. But I'm afraid I don't share your Peter Pan attitude toward life. I have plans here in Kingsley, and I intend to stay until I carry them out.
I've heard that a sign of wisdom is knowing when you're beaten, to take your losses and run.
Is that why you came here today when you said you never wanted to see me again?
Oh,
to gloat over my so-called failure.
Oh, it does give me a tremendous amount of satisfaction to see the invincible Vanessa Fazan having to admit defeat.
Yes, well, you may think that I am defeated, but it's in your mind only. It's certainly not in my mind. Tell me, do you think that I failed completely in the area of Dr. Ben Martin as well?
Well, he's still with his wife, if that's what you mean.
That's not what I mean at all, and you know it.
Look, Vanessa, do yourself a favor and leave Ben alone. Because I've been telling him all about you, and he's finally beginning to see what kind of a person you really are.
And he's very frightened, isn't he? He's really frightened.
Why do you say that?
Just tell me this. How is the good Dr. Martin these days? If I were to see him, would he be able to reach out and shake my hand? Would he?
Leave him alone, Vanessa. You just leave him alone.
Did you say $70,000?
And I think he would have coughed up even more, except for this business venture he's gotten himself into. It's put a real bite on the old cash flow. You know?
Oh, Commonwealth Trans Express, you mean the shipping
Yeah,
business?
it's still a pretty healthy contribution from an individual. Of course, when we have to spread it over 2 campaigns, it doesn't
Wait a minute.
really...
To get that kind of commitment, how much did Lee have to tell him?
Preston? Mm-hmm. He knows the whole story.
Are you telling me he knows we're contributing to Dave Phillips' campaign?
Look, don't worry, okay? He knows how to keep his mouth shut.
Oh, Dan, I don't like this. I don't like it one bit. The more people who are in on it, the bigger the chance that this whole thing will blow up in our faces.
Look, would you listen to me? Preston can be trusted. Believe that.
But those two actually work together, don't they? I mean, isn't Phillips on some kind of committee with the new company?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, he is. But if it doesn't bother Preston, it's certainly not going to bother me.
Well, I don't mind telling you it bothers me. It bothers me a lot, this whole setup.
For crying out loud, Betty, what is with you? I mean, a couple days ago, you were giving me all kinds of trouble because we didn't have enough money. Now Preston's made this big contribution. We're sitting pretty, and you're still complaining. Now, what is the problem?
Well, don't forget, I've got a stake in this thing, too. In fact, I've got more to lose than anyone because I'm the one who's actually channeling those funds to Phillips' campaign through the Responsible Citizens movement. And if it's ever traced back to me...
If you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen, huh? I mean, you requested this job, don't forget. This job where you're making all that money. But that's all right. I mean, if you want to panic and pull out now, that's okay. We can find somebody else. It's not too late in the campaign.
Oh, no. I'm not going to give up the job. But that doesn't mean I have to like it. And I still say you are taking a big chance.
Well, Tina.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that you were busy. No. That's quite all right. I was just on my way out. I'll talk to you later,
Yeah,
Dan.
look, Betty, about this project, it's going to be fine. Don't sweat it, okay?
Fine.
All right. Well, this is a surprise.
You know, Dan, I have a feeling that this is your day for surprises.
Could you tell me more about that transcript you gave my editor?
Well, it seemed to be concrete evidence about something that I had been suspecting or knowing about Wainwright for quite some time. Something that, well, up till now, he had very cleverly managed to keep under wraps, namely his racial attitudes. And I felt very strongly that the public had a right to know about that, and what better way than to allow his own comments to indict him?
I imagine it will have a very interesting effect on the election.
I hope so. And I assume these questions have something to do with a follow-up story you're planning to do on Kate?
No, I'm really asking for personal reasons. I'm interested, or concerned, to be more honest, about the effect the Wainwright story will have on my father's campaign.
Well, it's bound to have some effect.
And to be even more honest, I can't help wondering if it's designed to have a positive effect, a very positive effect.
I have made no bones about the fact that I want your father to win this election. In fact, I was the one that suggested he run in the first place. You remember that?
Oh, yes, I do. Well, do you have any other scandals coming our way?
That's a strange question. Why would you ask me something like that?
Well, I actually
Look, Miss Phillips, let's get something straight. I have a great deal of respect for your father. Now, that respect carries over to you, but these questions make me think that you believe I'm trying to plot something. Now, I don't know what you're thinking, but nothing could be further from the truth.
I'm sorry, Judge Sawyer. I didn't mean to offend you.
Well, I have an appointment and I'm going to have to go, but I would like to leave you with this. I have given you the reason as to why I gave the transcript to the Chronicle. Now, if you think that I have some sort of hidden agenda or that I am playing some sort of political game, then all I can say is you're sadly mistaken. Nothing could be further from the truth.
You really think the game is over for Vanessa?
Not that she'd ever admit it. By the way, she did ask about your hand. How is it?
It's better. I still wouldn't trust myself in the OR with it. So what'd you tell her?
Nothing.
Well, when I went home and told Lori what happened, she read all sorts of things into it.
That doesn't surprise you, does it? You've read all sorts of things into it.
Yeah, but she's convinced it has tremendous spiritual ramifications.
Ben, look, have you ever considered that? That Lori might be right?
What are you talking about?
Look, Ben, you know that I am not a religious person, but I do recognize that there is something in Vanessa that falls outside the realm of anything that I have ever experienced before.
You said she has a sixth sense.
No, it goes a lot deeper than that. I can't tell you how many times that woman has blown me away by knowing things that she simply had no way of knowing. Look, I chalked it up to intuition until it started happening so regularly. Dates that I had been on. She knew their names, she knew all about them. Places that I had been to, things that I'd done, things that I was only thinking.
Do you realize what you're saying?
Yes, and I'm dead serious about it.
Look, she is a fascinating woman. She uses the power of suggestion, that's all.
That's how I got hooked. Look, I was just as fascinated as everybody else. But whenever I got too close, it was frightening. I mean, it was really frightening. You know, there were times, I don't believe I am saying this, but there were times when I thought that I could actually see a fire in her eyes.
I hope I didn't cut your visit short with your lady friend. I wasn't interrupting anything, was I?
Oh, no. No, we were just doing some campaign work. I'm Lee Carruthers' manager now, you know.
Oh, so I hear.
Yeah.
It's quite a feather in your cap, isn't it?
Well, it will be if he wins, which I fully expect him to do. Yeah, I'm getting a kick out of it, you know.
Doesn't get into your social life too much.
Oh, no, you don't have to worry about that. You know me, I always leave time for that. My motto is first things first. Yeah. Tina, come on, I'm pretty sure that you didn't drop by here to talk about my social life. Now, what is it exactly you want?
I don't know. I've just been thinking about you and Courtney a lot lately.
You have?
Yeah. The night we all met at the Castaway. Do you remember?
Oh, yeah, I remember, was it 2 or 3 months ago, I guess? Yeah.
Uh-huh. Oh, that was quite a night, wasn't it? You know, I remember how you were trying to hit on her, but she was just too grieved over the loss of her mother to have anything to do with you, so I stepped in and played second fiddle. I mean, don't get me wrong, I mean, 'cause we really hit it off. All the laughing and the joking. And then later on, when you took me home and we were alone, you remember?
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Well, I'm glad, Dan, because something very special happened that night. Something that, up to now, I haven't been able to tell the truth about. But I think it's time to let you in on it.
Wait, let me in on what? What are you talking about?
My baby. The fact is, Dan, I'm pregnant with your child.
No. There is no way you are going to pin that on me, Tina. For one thing, there's no way you can prove it.
Proof is for courtrooms. I know what happened. So do you.
Hey, look, now, I didn't exactly rape you that night, if you recall. It was your responsibility to take precautions. If you didn't do that, that's your problem, not mine. If you're pregnant and you don't want to be, then you get rid of it. There's no way you're going to involve me in this. There's no way.
I could always go to the papers with this, you know. Carruthers' campaign manager hits on co-ed. Oh, make a great headline, wouldn't it? Real attention.
Don't be ridiculous. Even you wouldn't do something that stupid.
Or, if you don't want to go too public, now I could go a little more private. Say to Courtney. Oh, talk about an attention getter, boy. I bet she'd really be interested in
Hey,
that.
now look, let's get something straight here. No matter what happens, I am not going to marry you.
I don't expect you to. And even if you were willing, I wouldn't have someone like you.
All right, then what are you here for? What do you want?
Nothing too painful. As a matter of fact, you might even enjoy it.
What is it? Come on, tell me.
I want to file a paternity suit against Vaughn Sumner, and I want your legal services, free of charge.